Yo. 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 Hey, Powell, Adele, Janice, Alex, Levita, Joven, A, Oi Oi. Very volatile open here. As you can see, I'm in a trade. Very volatile open here, right? So we've managed the trade. Our stop loss is now here, just below this fair value gap right here. That is the candle I wanted to see. We needed to hold though. We got 2 minutes left, so it could go either way, considering we took the high out now as well. But what I want to see is a fair value gap form, a bullish fair value gap here. If we get one of those, because if this candle is the first candle of this bullish fair value gap, we can have a very easy soft break even, right? I did enter Dexter. Hello, Emmanuel, Charlie Quinn, Pietro, Dave Cheesley. What's good, guys? Like up the stream, guys. We're in a trade already. Quick, off the bat. This is why you got to be in the fast track chat. This is why you got to be in the private Discord, because you don't miss stuff like this, right? Let's see how this goes. We are in about 0.5% risk now. So it's not the end of the world. We are looking to go break even. I want to see a fair value gap form. So you know how a fair value gap is made up of 3 candles, right? We have this first one here, this second one, and hopefully we could have a third one up here, right? That will give us a nice imbalance for us to go soft break even here, because it's right near our entry. So it's like if we inverse the fair value gap, we close the trade, right? So that's really what I want to see, and then I'm very happy to be, very comfortable. If we can get that, I'd be very, very comfortable in the trade. EU sells. Now, someone was saying that before, but I think there is a high up here, isn't there? Plus, we've had such a strong push. You want something like this more, right? Come on, give us a strong close here. Right, remember that my stop loss is here, right? We're going to make this a very thick red line, just to remind us. Right, I'm going to put my thing back here so I can just calculate my risk to reward, right? So if we close the trade here, it gives us 0.4, which would then miss out on 0.2, right? So we could close half here. I'm going to close half the trade here, right? Let's see if we can just take that out. Closed half here. Let's see if we can get to that point. If we get to this point, right, we're going to close half the trade. Which should actually then put us in a position where we cannot lose while we are pushing up quite a lot here. Right. Right. Right, I'm out. Half. Half here. Which gives us about 0.4, 0.45 R. Right, and then that means, worst case, right, if we lost this, we wouldn't be down. We'd be down like 0.1. Some shit, right? Right, come on, give us what we need. Give us what we need. Just a strong little push up, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want after that, right? Just a little dink, right? That's all we want. Like, I'm best, like, I can describe things better when I make sounds, right? Just want a little dink, right? Taking out this, and then we don't care. We can do whatever we want after that. Just give us a dink. Take us out. Take us out for lunch, right? Come on. This is where my gambling instincts come in. There we are. Probably not going to close us out there, though. No, not yet. Still not closed us out. Oh. That did. Yep. There we are. W. Come on, guys. Get some dubs in the chat here. 10 minutes into the stream, right? 10 minutes into the stream, and we've already won a trade. 10 minutes into the live stream, and we have already won the trade. Nice work. So, you guys, we're back to it here. New month, new me, right? New quarter, new me. New week, new me type shit. Easy work. Round of applause, guys. Been grafting all week. This pays for me chicken and stuffing butty, right? Shout out the chickens and that. Big up the chickens, right? Right, there we are, guys. Easy W. That probably gives us about 1 R there. Bit low. I said this. Bit low. Bit of a low R. I'm going to come and take that on the chin there. Bit of a low R, right? Let's get another little vid out. Easy winning trade. 10 minutes into the stream. Easy W. Sorry, guys. Got to do it. 10 minutes. Got to be a record, that. Boom. Why is it? If we do that, what is going on? There we go. How was there news 6 hours ago? Yeah. Big up the meal deals. Big up the co-op, you know. Big up the chickens. Big up the bakers. Right. Easy, guys. Easy. 5 trade win streak. Nice. Light work. Could you please break down the trade? Yes, we shall. We will break down the trade. Let's do it. Let's break down this trade, guys. Let's show you why I entered, okay, when I did. So, Melvin. Shout out to Melvin. Big up, Melvin. Hold tight this stuff. Right. What is it? Melvin, you suggested this, right? There was a little bit of a mixed bias because the bias was not clear, and if you watch my daily market outlooks, you'll know exactly what I mean. This is taking a while to load. Right, so the daily wasn't really giving us much. You know, there's not much going on. We did this. We pushed down, took out these lows, so technically it's bullish, right? Yeah. We had a technical close, I think, below the fair value gap, but regardless, the daily and the 4 hour were not giving us much, so we have to kind of rely on the 1 hour here. And I've realized I've never really made a video on this kind of thing, so I'm going to be teaching people that now as well. So this is some of the intuition things that, like, I don't consciously know until I'm asked about it, right? But yeah, we had to use the 1 hour. 1 hour took these lows, bullish, right? 30 minute, respected this 30 minute fair value gap right here. Again, and took out the lows, so that's bullish. The 15 minute was probably similar. We didn't really check that too much though. We went straight to the 5 after checking the 30. And then on the 5, we've seen a nice little accumulation right here, followed by manipulation. Now, I think I got asked this as well when we took the trade. Like, isn't it kind of a bit too inside of the accumulation? Because typically the best setups would be like this kind of thing where we have an accumulation, then we push down with the manipulation rather than kind of having this inside of it. But there's also the fact that we respected this 30 minutes, so we had a pretty strong bias. Now, I thought we were going to come down and take out these equal lows at the start when we started messing around here, but that's the entry. So it's AMD and IFVG on the 5, 30 minute fair value gap respected, 1 hour liquidity took, right? The daily was also kind of bullish, but both of the daily and the 4 hour were mixed. So, but yeah, that is what happened. That is the trade, right? Looks like it was a good TP as well, as of right now. But yeah, it's precision, guys. You got to trade with precision. You got to have the right entry model and just execute it consistently, right? I regret even taking partials here because we took partials and full TP in the same candle, right? But we did it. We got about 1 hour from that. Light work. But yeah, that's the trade. That's the trade we took. We took that on the private, on the private Discord group on stream. But then obviously we went onto the live stream in the middle of the trade, like you've seen it here, and then we continued up. So I don't think you all got a chance to actually catch that move, but yeah. Now we're gonna look for something else. We're gonna look for another trade, see what we can do. But this week we're up like 3.5% just this week. This is a great start to the month as well. I think this is the first trade of the month. It is. This week though, we're up like 3.5% almost. So that's good. Let's have a look at gold. Someone said, Josh, why is it so hard for me to trade on my own versus trading with you live? I'm struggling trading on my own. Justin here. I don't know. I think it depends how long you've been practicing for. You know, if you've been actually journaling the trades you are taking. If you have a clear structure, you're just using my strategy on its own. All of these little different things. So what I'd say, Justin, because obviously I know you have the course and like all access to all the private chats, there's a new trade review chat. So if you just send your journal into that new trade review chat, we'll obviously give you some feedback. I'll tell you exactly what's going wrong there. But the issue, the reason it's so easy to trade with me and hard to trade without me is because I know what I'm doing. No offense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously going to be easier with me because I've been doing this live. I've been doing this for years, live for just over a year. So, yeah, that's what I'd say. Make sure you're journaling your trades. Put them in the trade reviews chat. And the reason it's so hard to trade on your own and easier to trade with me is because obviously you're trading with someone who's been doing this exact strategy and nothing else for years now. So, yeah, let's look for another trade, guys. It looks like we're absolutely pushing straight up here. That's unfortunate. I'm happy with what we got, though. It does look like we've just... This 5 minute completely reversed in the last candle. And then just pushed straight up. So we got quick little take profit here. That's probably me and my millions just kind of, consolidating the market there as I took profits. But someone else must have just bought in there. So... Gold, 5 min, IFVG. Not too bad. Took out the liquidity though, so we can't take this now. This invalidates the setup straight away. Because we have to retrace. It invalidates the IFVG and gives us more of a bullish sentiment than an actual bearish one for the entry. Because we got to retrace back to an imbalance now. We're pushing so far. Surely this is not... This can't just be like... To be fair, GU's done fuck all. This makes sense though. Maybe it's something to do with the tariffs. If it's something to do with the tariffs, GU won't have moved much, whereas GJ would have because of GBP. There we are. So that's probably what that was. We're ready for indirect nuclear talks with the US. EU nations seek to keep the option for 2025 gas storage flexibility. Rates are at neutral level. There is no reason to become accommodative. Sell on gold, but it's run away. Yeah, that's the issue sometimes. But this will happen less times than rushing into the entry and losing the trade, right? That's the probability there. If the probability was that most of the time this would happen, we would take these trades. But the reason we wait for confirmation, guys, is because the majority of the time, it will be like a fake out rather than an actual validation for the setup, right? I'm so hungry. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to start with my meal deal. Big up the chickens. Two bites and swallow. It is dropping down major. Salt and vinegar McCoys. Cannot go wrong with a lovely jubbly McCoy. Also picked up this. You know, I was talking to you guys about the Dubai chocolate. They have an Oreo one as well. It's got kanafa in it as well. If that's an ingredient and not a pie or something. Right. So that's lovely. So we got the chicken and stuffing butty, right? Salt and vinegar McCoys, Pepsi Max, cherry, and an Oreo Dubai chocolate. Bro, you doing dirty to me? I'm on fasting. Oh shit, yeah. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. My bad. I forgot about that. Excuse me. I will stop eating. Alright. Out of respect for you guys. Don't wanna, you know. I don't want anyone breaking their fast because of me. Nothing can stop GJ. Jeez. Looks like we are coming straight up to this. Right, this hurts a little bit. This hurts a little tiny bit, right? Because where did we get in? Here, with our stops literally like down here, right? Right, that hurts a little tiny bit. But this is just an example of how it plays out. Like, this is AMD. This is beautiful AMD. There's so many cycles of it all day, right? Here, kind of mess around here, but then push down, accumulate, manipulate, distribute, reverse, accumulate, manipulate, distribute. What was the bias for GU? GU took the high, took the very messy on the daily, right? I'll go straight to the 4 hour here. Very messy again with these low wick candles, but long wick candles, but this one here has no bottom. Sorry. This one here, this high right here has been taken, so we should come down to this candle right here. This fell like up right here. My head's all over the place. It's the food. Bearish. Bearish on GU, right? Bearish. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. Bearish. Bearish bias. So we would want to see something like this, right? EU, we got an IFG here, didn't we? But we took out, did we take out these lows? No. Reversed. This explains the bias. Well, explains why you don't trade against the bias. GBP CAD. On the 5 min. Nothing here really. The bias is obviously bearish, I think. Right? Bearish, yeah. So what we'd want to see is obviously a bullish fair value gap form, sweep liquidity, and then move down. We've had a nice consolidation. We've got a head and shoulder pattern here. If we can just get a little push up, get an imbalance formed, right, we can then close below and push down. If it's messy on the daily and 4 hour, do you take 1 hour bias? You don't just take the 1 hour. You have to have a little bit more context than that, right? You want to go to the 1 hour and kind of just do like a ping pong kind of thing, right? Let me show you what I mean. The perfect example is that TJ trade I was showing you, where we had a very messy daily and a very messy 4 hour. Let me delete this. Very messy daily and a very messy 4 hour. Here we're just kind of chilling. So we go down to the 1 hour, right? On the 1 hour, we inversed this fair value gap right here. We closed above it and took out the high in the same candle. So you'd be bearish towards the lows, this kind of thing, right? And this fair value gap right here, which we did. We obviously respected this, which was a little bit messy. So I kind of, because we disrespected it, right? We closed below it technically. So you could count this as a technical close, but then we continue up, you know, mess around and then continue down. So you want to look at like the 30 minute. Like for this example here, you would also look at the 30 minute, right? If we go into the 30 minute, there's not much here either. So this would have just not have been a tradable thing at all, to be fair. So with that, you want to have a clear bias on the 1 hour or the 30 minute at least, right? So in the 4 hour and the daily, you're just messing around. Go down to the 1 hour, try and figure out the liquidity. If we've just took liquidity, if we've just inversed a fair value gap, that kind of thing, right? And then you want to kind of align that with the 30 as well. And yeah, so when the daily and the 4 hour are messy, go down to the 1 hour, look for context, as well as the 30 minute, and look for context there as well, right? But I think I said this. We're going to be doing that I'm going to be adding a module or a video on the course for the daily bias module. I'm going to be adding a video on there teaching you exactly about that a little bit more in depth. Also, there's going to be a psychologist. We're going to get in a psychologist, right? I'm paying a psychologist to build me out a psychology module just for the course, right? Which is going to be crazy. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Talking about the updates, it reminded me. So find ARL and IRL on the 30 or 1 hour when the daily and 4 hours is not clear to determine the bias. That is correct. Swiss franc JPY. This looks like it must have been a yen move. Or European, I guess you could argue. No, definitely yen. That is very strange, right? Swiss franc JPY. Took the low. Let's start on the daily. respecting this right here. Technical close, so let's check what the next candle says, right? Monday, so weekly also has no top wick, which is an issue, so definitely bullish right here. 4 hour, swept the lows, coming back to a fair value gap right here. We have 3 hours left on this, so this is bearish right now, the 4 hour. So what you'd want to see in 3 hours is a close above, but you could try and predict that with a move up. There's not really going to be able to catch anything now because we've had such a strong move up, right? Like, we need to retrace. We need to chill out here a little tiny bit, okay? So, in my opinion, it's not tradable. In your paid course, do you have a set of written rules? Yes, I do. Now, I don't want to yap on too much about the course. You know, I hate saying that out loud, to be honest with you. But this is what's inside, right? I'll show you. If anyone's got any trade ideas, send them in the chat so we can have a look at them. Right. So this is what you'd get. So the Discord chats, right? EU is about to take 1 hour highs. First of all, I'll show you this in a second, Payne. Let's have a look. EU, right. The only issue with EU is that we haven't consolidated properly. If we can kind of just chill a little bit, like for the next 15 minutes, right? If we can just go back and forth a little tiny bit and then push up and do it, that would be a much better entry. Right, also I want you to remember that at 9 p.m. there is a Trump speech as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. 9 p.m. UK time, BST, 9 p.m. BST. There is a Trump speech, so keep your eyes peeled for that, right? But with this, I want to see a consolidation a little bit more. I want to see it just cool down a little tiny bit because we have had a bit of a strong push. Like here was a little bit risky. We've been consolidating since, but I want to see a bit of a better push, maybe another kind of range, right? The best, most honest, the easiest to learn course. Take it from someone who has been through other so-called paid courses that are just scams. Josh's course is the real deal. It's so easy to understand. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate you. I consider it teamwork because if you didn't put in the time to learn the strategy, you know, you wouldn't have succeeded. But I'm happy I'm happy to, you know, hear that people can can succeed from it. It changed night into day for me. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I can see it in your trades as well. USD Swiss franc. Let's have a look at that. Let me just get this video out. Right, so we want a bit more of a range here, then we can look for that move. What's GJ saying? GJ is... Wow. Appreciate you, Dexter. Wow. See this, right? Obviously, I wasn't able to hold that long because I pooed myself, but I was going for... I said this on the live stream as well. I was going for a nice little humble 1.2R. Nothing too major. I wasn't looking for, you know... How is this 1.4 here? Oh, it's because... Wait. How is this 1.4? Strange. Oh, it's because we had our stops like down here, wasn't it? Yeah, I was going for a nice humble 1.2. That's what I was going for. We got a 1% from it, so I'm pretty happy with that, right? You could have got a 2.8 though, if you held all the way. Is Melvin here? Melvin, are you here? Right, so I think we can just chill, you know. Thank you, Josh. I know what to improve on now. Great teamwork too and fast track. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, just keep it up. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. But I think the process you should be going through is like watching me do my streams, watching me do my daily bias, learning how I do it, then slowly just kind of, you know, not like leaning on me. So they slowly, like, maybe you'll start by stopping watching the market outlooks. Then you'll stop watching the streams, right? And just get your own independence from it. Because I don't want, like, obviously, I want you to succeed. I don't want you to be able to have to, I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me trade in order to succeed. But definitely start by just consuming as much of my content as you can from the course, from the streams, from the market outlooks, from asking me as many questions, getting those trades reviewed in the trade review chat. And then slowly start getting your own independence from it. No worries, man. But yeah, Payne, what I was going to say, right, I don't just hand you a, like, whilst we wait for a setup, guys, very, very quickly, I don't just wait for, like, I don't just give you, like, a piece of paper and go, here you go, this is how you trade, thanks for your money, you know, you know what I mean? I go and teach you everything step by step. Like, I literally, before I teach you anything, really, I teach you how to learn, how to actually learn things, right? Because there's two types of learning. There's explicit and implicit. This course is explicit. This stream, these trades you're watching me take is explicit. You practicing on your own is implicit, right? So I teach you the difference, how to kind of, it's like a scale. So you start by having to do, like, if I draw it out, you start by having to do, like, if we let's say, right, with this type of learning, guys, this is very important for anything in life. Let's say we have explicit and implicit, right? explicit, implicit. At the start, actually, wrong way around. Let's get it the other way around. So we have implicit here, right? And explicit. You need to start by like doing this, right? Not much implicit, lots of explicit, and then it slowly goes like this, right? And then eventually you just stop doing explicit and just do loads of implicit. This is kind of what the graph should look like. So as you start out here, you start by doing a bit of both, then more of this, right? More of this. Then eventually you start doing more implicit, which is like practicing and taking those trades. And then eventually you get to that goal, right? So this is like the fuel. This is like the man driving it, right? But yeah, so I teach you how to learn. And then there's also how to get this to actually work for you, how every tool works, the mindset you need to have, teach you everything about the basics, because obviously it needs to be beginner friendly. Like there are basic concepts in here, but why I mainly trade GJ and how you can master it, how much time do you need to commit and what results should you expect. Then there's how timeframes work and what timeframes to use, market movements, how to read and anticipate them, breaks of structure, internal and external structure. Now, internal and external, that's not ERL and IRL. This is a different concept. Then there's the basics of candlesticks. What are fair value gaps? How to identify them? How to use them? How to identify high probability ones, sorry. How to use them, depending on the time frame you're looking at. Spotting and trading IFVGs. You know, everything you could think of. I thought this out for months before I built this, but I teach you everything piece by piece, right? So first it's like candlesticks and structure, fair value gaps, then liquidity, then PO3, then daily bias. There's going to be updates on this as well soon. Then here, this is where I actually give you that piece of paper and I go, now you know all the tools. Here's a list of the tools and how to use them properly. And also, here's some examples. Now go and watch my trading streams. Go and watch my market outlooks. Go and ask questions, right? Then there's the back testing, so actually how to back test the strategy, how to manage the trades, how to deal with psychology. This is getting a massive update, but it's already full of value. But it's getting an update. We're actually paying a psychologist to do this, to redo this for us. And we're doing a psychologist on a call for us as well soon. Now there's journaling and self-improvement, getting funded, and then the final module. But I'm also adding something else in as well. I'm adding in a new module, which is going to unlock after 3 weeks. So when you join, after 3 weeks, you'll get a new module that kind of shows you like exactly all the issues that most people have at this point in time and how to fix them. Because there's going to be issues along like all along the different journey, right? All along the journey is going to be different issues. So I added a new module, which is going to be getting updated into the course in about a few days, maybe over the weekend, right? Which unlocks 3 weeks after you join, which teaches you how to fix most of the issues people have at that point in time after they've kind of learned the strategy, right? And then there's also little other updates here and there. Like I'm going to be adding new daily bias videos in, like how to deal with the daily bias when the daily is consolidating and stuff like that, right? Just little bits and pieces. But I literally thought this out for months. It's so... I put a lot of energy into it, and as you can see by the people giving you feedback personally, it's been well received. So I think it's definitely worth the money. Especially when there's one guy getting 1.4 million funding from it, right? In 4 months. Well, yeah, enough of that, guys. Enough yapping, right? Back to the charts. Is anyone seeing any setups? I wanted EU to chill a little bit. It looks like it is kind of chilling here. If we get a nice little push up now, we could look for this, right? If we get a nice little push up, something like this, that's probably what I'd want to see next, right? Check out AU. Uh, respecting the 15. UJ. Oh, I've got it. Where is it? Oh, it's up here. Nah, massive push. Nothing really after this, right? Nothing really comes from this. We're going to just consolidate again, like we did here, right? This is another thing as well. Like, with AMD, you don't want to take it too strict, right? You can see, wow, what a beautiful setup right here. You could have caught this whole move down, right? But with AMD, this is another little teaching point here, guys. So AMD, you know, a lot of people will just go and learn this, which is what I teach, but this is a very basic level of understanding of AMD, right? This is a very basic example of AMD. This is just a consolidation, right? Pure sideways, then up, then down, right? Now, the up and down part, right? You know, the manipulation distribution, that kind of stays the same. But what can happen is stuff like this, you know, and I've gone over this as well, where we can kind of accumulate up or accumulate down slightly, right? Which is what we have had, like, kind of like here. And on one of the trades we could have took yesterday. But more importantly, what I'm saying is, don't think of it too strictly in sessions. Think of it also like the phases of the market, right? If we have AMD, and if AMD is the only way we move, right? What does that tell you? It tells me two things, right? After a consolidation, we will have a big move, and after a big move, we will have a consolidation, right? And then you zoom out and see that, okay? I've done this hundreds of times, right? There's probably like we can sit here for days and just go back on every single candle on USD JPY and prove it there. Big move up, consolidation. Big move down, consolidation. Big move up leaves us with a consolidation next, right? So what I'm saying is, for the next 10, 20 candles, right, we're going to just go sideways a little bit. You know, we may have ranges like this. You know, might be like this, which is also could be tradable, but this is just a consolidation, right? We're supposed to consolidate next. And don't get me wrong, we could do this, or we could do this, or we could do this. But I'm not trying to be part of any of those three examples, right? I'm not trying to be part of any of that. When we have such a strong move up like this, we're due a retracement, but we're also due a consolidation. So, AMD, be careful. No trade on anything that's had such a massive move up like this. And if you do try and take it, you will get burned. Like this, right here. Alright, chilling. Yeah, USD JPY, I mean EU. EU is still chilling. So this could be maybe a little trade. We'll see how it goes. Right. Oh, also another announcement for the Fast Track members, right? For the Fast Track members, we're doing the first private live lecture, right? I'm going to teach you like advanced stuff, not just the usual AMD IFEG. There's going to be the first proper live lecture that we're doing on the 7th, right, or the 8th, on Tuesday next week. We're going to have the first actual Fast Track Trading private course access live lecture, building on all the concepts you already know. And then we're going to end it by doing a Q&A call, because we did a Q&A call on Friday and it went so well. What about GU? GU, similar story as well. You know, if we push up nicely on the 15, we could trade that. Also, the beard's coming back. The beard's finally coming back. I don't want to dye it, but I also don't want it to be ginger. But it's starting to come back now. Nice. It's come back quite quick, to be fair. Means I've got huge balls. I can confirm that is not true. Looks like we might be inversing this fair value gap right here. Let's see how this closes in the next 2 minutes. I'm happy we're mitigating this though, because when we push up, it's not going to be an obstacle. The liquidity will be instead. I guess it's kind of just the same thing. GJ's going back. It might leave an IPG at 5 min. It looks like it's just chilling. If EU works out, I would target the 1 hour fair value gap. What do you think? We still haven't took the high, I don't think, have we? No. We still need that break above. In terms of targets, yeah, that's a great target. Looks like this could be AMD as well. That's pretty obvious. If we close below, it could continue down. So what I would do is manage the trade here, right? Maybe if you could get a good risk to reward ratio on it, right? Let's say we do hypothetically, like in a perfect world, replicate this little drawing that I've got here, and we get the entry, like let's say like here, right? Stops up here, take profit goes down here. 1.4R, not the best, right? But you could hold like all the way down to here, right? Try and do that, and take half here with like 0.7, right? And then just let the rest run, or you could just take the 1.4. It's up to you. But yeah, it's a good target. Definitely a good area to manage or close the trade. What risk to reward ratio? I look for, honestly, anything above a 1 is fine for me. Anything above a 1, as long as it's positive, it's fine. Now I'd aim for like 1.5 plus. Like if you look at my average trades, right? 1.7, you know, 1.2, 1.6, 2.7, 1.4, 2.5, 1.4. Now obviously some of the time these don't play out fully. Like here we got partials, here we got a full one, here we got half, right? But it's always kind of like about 1, 1.5. That's realistically what I go for. That would be play out by tomorrow, I'd say, if you target that low. That is true, Curtis. Also, Trump speaks, so who knows? Yeah, probably the best bet just to get out at that purple line. Right, pretty dead though. This is pretty dead. Also, this IFVG here, I'm not entering here. Wait, we did take the high. Did we? Maybe just. Either way, though, I'm not taking this. Hi Josh, some advice on dealing with profits that could have made after closing. GJ expect my original TP and could have tripled the profit. At least I feel a psychological itch every time. That's mainly just because you're probably staring at it still. Like once you've done once you've got your profits, just close the chart and go away. Like that's pretty much what I'd say. You don't need to be taking 2, 3, 4 trades a day. Most of the time, you can get away with one. Like I'm pretty chill with just 1 trade a day. You know, apple a day, 1 trade a day, keeps the broke boys away. That's what I say. I feel you, Melvin. Same issues I need to fight sometimes. Profit is profit, I guess. But it's also because you're looking at it, right? Just don't look at it. And don't worry about it. Like, honestly, I've just missed out on thousands or at least another grand or something like that, right? I don't really like talking about that too much, but I've just missed out on a bit, right? I am not arsed. Like, I do not care. I have not even thought about it, really, until then. So, just, like, and obviously you can see I've been distracting myself with other things, right? Rather than just sitting there looking at GJ. I've been looking at other pairs. That's literally exactly pain. Like, I just don't look at it. You can see it. I've been looking at other things now, distracting myself from looking at it. If I have a 100k account, I'd be happy with 1 trade as well. 1% a trade is a high weekly salary. That is true. But, yeah. Okay, thanks. I have my reach. Well, yeah, you know, you could have just took half and gone to break even or something like that. But in terms of the psychology, that would definitely be the fix. Just don't look at it. Just do something else, right? And this is why I say, like, the things you do outside of trading affect your trading 100%. And it's not just, like, if you do drugs or not, right? Like, you know, I personally, Melvin, I'd get stuck in to work when I would do that. Like, when I'd win a trade or be in a trade, it would be very hard because I'd be bored as fuck, right? But sometimes when I have like dead good jobs on or when it was dead busy in work, I'd have a bunch of tax returns to do. I would just sit there and go through them all, be like, right, I'm going to get through all of those before the trade plays out. And then I'm just sat there firing through it all. So do something like that, you know, go for a run, get stuck into your, you know, I've seen your cool like piece. I follow you on Instagram. I've seen your cool like pieces of work. Get stuck into that, you know, or put a podcast on, put some music on, and you're in Netherlands, so just sit down, smoke some weed. That'll help you, right? Can you look at your JPY, Josh? Yeah, sure, let's do it. I've come to realize, even at your level of trading, you will always deal with psychological issues. It is literally, it does not go away at all. It changes. It's like when people get rich, they don't just not have issues anymore. They have other issues, right? It's the same here. Like, it's literally the same with the psychology. Right, Mike, with your JPY, it's the same story. We've had such a strong push up. So we are going to chill, right? We're going to chill here. So there's no trade. You can't trade this, right? No worries, Melvin. All right, guys. What we're gonna do? We're gonna let this play out, right? I'm gonna set an alert here. And I'm going to go about my day. That is literally it. If you want to get updated, right, there's 2 things you can do. You can either join the private Discord and get access to all these different chats here, with the trade reviews, the fast track chat, my personal analysis, accountability, motivation, GM, all this stuff. You can get access to all that, or you can just discuss the setups with us in here, right? So either way, we're going to be discussing this trade. If we do take it, I'm going to set an alert here. If and when I get pinged, we will start looking for the setup. That is all you need to do now. Like, you see me doing my 1 hour live stream, sitting here staring at the charts. It's actually more of a negative habit to be doing. I don't really ever sit here staring at the charts, like waiting to take something. But we're going to set an alert. I'm going to go scram my meal deal, right? Get some other bits and pieces done. And as and when I take this trade, or if I take this trade, you will know, because we'll be discussing it either in the course chat or in the free chat. But either way, make sure you're joining the fast track trading course. You're going to learn exactly how to trade like me. We're on a 5 trade win streak, and I told you stuff. I told you last week, like, it comes back, it goes around, right? It goes around really nicely. You know, we went through a nice little win streak here, went through a little rough patch. This was mainly psychology, and I told you that in the moment. Now we're coming back to winning ways. The reason not to trade EU now is because I want to see a clean sweep of these highs. Where are we? Clean sweep of these highs. The candle took a while to invest this, right? Plus we haven't had as much of a consolidation as I'd want. They're the 3 reasons, right? But either way, join fast track trading, join the course. I'll see you all in there, and join the free Discord if you haven't already. That is it from me, guys. As I said, we're going to be discussing this if, as, when we take this trade. So set your alert, go about your day, do something else. Do not sit here forcing trades. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow at the same time, the same place, to continue this beautiful, beautiful win streak. 3.3% up so far this week. Beautiful start to the month. Beautiful start to the second.